Hello YouTube, welcome back to the office. It's only kind of an office because we have a couple artifacts of the fact that this is really the toy room turned office. But we're going to be talking about PCI Express today. Learned a whole bunch in the last 2 or 3 hours and figured I'd make a 2 or 3 minute video out of it. Maybe somebody else can reference it. So those are PCIE x16 slots. This is a riser card for a workstation I own to make it a dual graphics card. But using that just as test purposes. Let's take a look at a couple of cards here I have for reference. This top one is a 1X, so it's got this first nub, and then those are all data pins at the end. This is a 4X here. That one's an 8X, and this is the card that has brought us here, and we'll talk more about him later in the video. And then this guy, which is a full 16X card. So obviously the take and shuffle these around a little bit. Obviously the 1X card will fit in the slot of the 16X. So let's take a look at that over here. So I can do all this one-handed while this card is balanced on some train tracks. Manhandle that in. Hold on. Push it in. Seat it off camera here. One's a little rougher to get in than I expected. But anyway, that's what the 16X looks like. The 1X slides right in. And we could do the same with the 4X and the 8X, but we're not going to go through that because we're here really to look at the this actual computer setup I have. And just give me a second to get the video camera just right. Yeah, I don't know why I can't get the same shot I got before, but anyway, this here at the top is our 1X header, and it has a prong at the end, so that physically ends. You can get a 1X to 16X adapter on eBay for like $10. And it plugs in here, and it's got some power pieces to it to juice the power up a little bit. But basically you could plug one of those 16X graphics cards right into here. It will run slower because it doesn't have as many pins. You could also cut the end off of this. Just come in with a Dremel and cut that piece and slide a card in, and it would work. This is a 4X card holder, and you'll see that the barbecue skewer can go right through the end of that. And that's magnificent for what we're going to be doing here, because this is only a 4X slot, and it was the 8X card I said we needed to work on. That 8X card is a 10 gigabit Ethernet card. If we can get the camera just right here. So that's an 8X card. That's where you could actually put a either copper adapter or fiber adapters, more likely what we're going to use in this case. This 8X card, if I can manipulate it around, should actually slide if I can get it positioned right. Camera is not helping in this case. There we go. Let's get that fully seated in there. Doesn't feel quite right, but I'll give it a look before we boot it. It might be on some wires. No, I think maybe it's seated well in there. Anyway, you can maybe see the fact that there are pins hanging out the back of the card right there. The card doesn't end. The card doesn't end where the slot ends. So, there's the slot, and there's the card end. Let's see. There we go. There's the slot, the card end, and over here is the slot end. So this is a 8X card in a 4X slot. You could do that modification on your own with the Dremel if you really needed to, or there's lots of eBay adapters if you had an extra place to put that card. But anyway, I'm excited about this because this is my primary workstation here at home. Not really workstation grade, but it's a workstation for now. Do my video editing on this and all my daily use. So what that card is here for is that's going to be fiber. I've got some fiber couplers. I'm not going to terminate my own fiber. This is a 80-foot piece of fiber I have lying around. I have some 1 meter long pieces of fiber. I'm going to cut a hole in the wall right over here and run Ethernet and fiber up to here. And I should be able to get significantly faster than gigabit speeds up to this adapter. So I could do my video editing all straight off of my NAS server and not do any backing up or additional backing up. The server itself does all the backing up, and I just work live right on the server. So anyway, that's the plan. I've had all the pieces for a while now and just trying to put them all together now that the new server's coming. So hope I taught you something about PCIEs today and how the slots work and how you can really plug multiple size cards into different slots. In fact, this dual gigabit card right here is destined for the router that only has a 1X slot on it. So that card right there is going to get plugged into a slot that only has room for that. By the way, the other way of doing this, if you're really crazy about this kind of stuff, you can actually, sorry about that, you can actually cut the extra pins off. You could go in and physically, hold on one more second here. You could count those number of pins right there. Count that out here and then cut the rest of that off. And in theory, and I've seen it in practice on YouTube, in theory, that card will still work. I'm not going to cut any pins off of cards. I'd, worst case scenario, go in and cut the socket longer so this longer piece could stick out of the socket. But probably I would just, with that case, I'm probably just going to put this on an extender and move it out away from the motherboard because there's lots of room in that case but not lots of motherboard. So anyway, that was a quick lessons learned on PCIe slots. If you have anything else you'd like to say about them, leave it in the comments below, and maybe I'll share in the next video or other people can find it here. Thanks. Talk to you later. Bye.